First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And yeah, well, thank you for the introduction. Yes, I have been engaged with both teaching linguistics, literature, and as well as English language domain. The other aptitude test or the English proficiency test. I've been trained by both AEU and British Council for IELTS training, and I've been teaching IELTS for almost 17 years. So, students do have certain questions like that: what kind of IELTS we should take? Should we prepare for it or not? So definitely, I would tell the students of Pakistan, since they are EFL and ESL learners, I think it's important for them to prepare themselves for IELTS. If they are going for immigration, then it's general test, and if they are going for student visa, so they have to go for academic. And even in some cases, like in nursing license, in PLAB, doctors, they have to attempt academic IELTS with certain bands score required. The requirement is usually available on the website, so they don't have to rely on the word of mouth. They can easily log into those websites according to their faculty, like medical, like engineering, IT, and even in social sciences. I recommend students to improve their English before they join any academy for the IELTS preparation, because most of the time a lot of people have misconception that while they are preparing for IELTS they will improve English. No, it's not like that. IELTS is basically a test preparation center, or it's a test preparation actually. So we help you with the tips and with the techniques to overcome the time anxiety, the test anxiety, how to handle the questions. But yes, language should have been improved before.
Sir, is it necessary to train by a trainer? What do you say about those resources which are available online or on YouTube? Or
well, this is a very, very common question, and it's I would say it's a common mistake as well. When it comes to studying any courses such as OET, Occupational English Test for nurses, doctors, for my other medical professionals, PTE, TOEFL, and IELTS, most of the students rely on YouTube videos and the online materials. That's absolutely fine. However, it's not the complete picture. What they are supposed to do is writing and speaking are the two modules which needs to be monitored by a teacher or the trainer. So if you are preparing yourself from internet, then obviously you don't have any feedback for your writing and speaking. Second thing is that if you are lacking in one kinds of question in one or two kinds of questions in reading and listening, so I don't think so that there are answers to your own problem available. But there are tips available. So I think I believe that it's vital for students to not to risk their huge sum of money. It's almost 0.5 or 0.05 million, 50,000 Pakistani rupees for one attempt. So I don't think so they should risk it. Like in OET, Occupational English Test for nurses and doctors, the fees is almost 100,000. It's quite a big amount. So I believe they must consult an expert, trained expert, not everybody. That's what my experience say.
Sir, what do you say or what do you advise to those people or learners who want to attempt IELTS? What should they do for their prior knowledge?
Before, if you are planning to appear in the test, obviously you have a purpose that you want to go abroad or you want to apply for any scholarship or something. The most important thing is the time frame, that how much time do you have, how long do you need to submit your documents and the result, IELTS result. But if you have plenty of time, like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, so I would recommend that you start reading, listening to videos, journal conversation, read newspapers, particularly the editorial part, because this helps you gain a lot of information about many things, and the editorial part is comparatively easier than other parts of the newspaper. And also start talking to people in English, talking to your friends in English, so you become fluent. And if you think that you are facing any problem with the grammar, so consult the teacher. So, but stay in, situation where you are utilizing both written and oral discourse.
Sir, one more question I would like to ask. If we talk about four skills of language, reading skills or writing skills, similarly speaking, which one is very harder when we talk about IELTS or such type of other tests?
Honestly speaking, it varies. Since I have taught more than, I should say 10,000 students of IELTS or 10,000 candidates, I have never come to the conclusion that which part is the difficult one. Sometimes trainers do say so. They may be their personal, prospect of something. But I believe that they are equally difficult because when you receive students from rural areas, they find it very difficult to speak. And their reading is amazingly good because they are hardworking, they are very much into books. On the other hand, most of the urban area students from semi-English medium schools, they find reading tougher part. Most of the times I find out that a lot of people are struggling with listening skills because listening is the one of the component that is highly ignored by schooling systems in our culture. So listening comprehension is also weak. Then comes the writing. Yes, like most of the doctors and nurses, they have problem with writing because they have been just busy with medical discourse and medical field for 5 years, 6 years. They have not taken things out of the context, so they find writing is more difficult. So it varies, honestly speaking.